Hello everyone on Facebook. This is Harka Sampang. I'm here to talk about MCC today. I'm going to give you some reasons why we have been protesting this for so long time, thinking this is not in favor of our country, Nepal. And today I'm speaking English because I want to make those people who do not understand Nepali language understand what's politically happening in our country, Nepal, at present. Dear friends, the very first thing I do not like personally is this agreement has been signed between an official of MCC, an official, just note this, an official of MCC. MCC itself is an institution, is an organization, is a charity, whatever you call, of the United States government. So, an official of that one, just note this. That is one party, one guy who has signed, and the other guy who has signed is the Minister of the Finance Ministry of Nepal. So, the Minister of our Nepal's government is equal to an official of a project or of a kind of a charity of the United States. So, as you see the level here, in terms of sovereignty and authority, it is not equal. So, the very first thing I feel is this. In the terms of sovereignty and authority, legality, as a nation, let's say, whatever is the condition of Nepal, whether it is poor or rich or developed or lagging behind, but it is a sovereign country in the world, which has the membership of the UN as well. So, in terms of the equality, the authority which signed, we do not feel this is equal. So, the very first thing that I personally don't like about MCC is that. Now, coming through some articles and some sections of MCC, what I notice here is what our Nepalese leaders have been saying, that this is a pure donation, pure charity, financial help to our country Nepal, that the US so kindly wants to grant to us for our development. The question I want to raise here is, if it is a financial donation, it's a charity, why the hell we have to sign so many pages and this, that? Why we need so long agreement to go through each and every clause and terms and conditions and fulfill all the needs of MCC in the favor of US, and the duty must be completed by the government of Nepal? Why we need so many clauses, so many conditions? That's my question. That our leaders, we have been saying that this is a pure donation and this, that. To those people, to those leaders, I want to ask a question. Why we have to go through all these agreements and clauses and this and that? And the main thing about that, my disagreement about this is, why we need to pass this one through Parliament? Why we have to table this agreement, this MCC in Parliament, and why our Parliament must pass this before it goes into force? Why? If it is just a donation means we can just accept and we can use in favor of our country's developments and this, that. We do not need to go through so many terms of legal procedures and this and that, and even we do not need to pass this one through our Parliament. That's my saying, and I believe Nepalese people generally have been thinking the same way I'm doing. Now, to be specific on articles of the agreement and some sections that we do not accept, that we feel that compromises our sovereignty, our nation. I'm going to read those sections and I'm going to give my opinion. Okay, friends, now I'm going to read MCC agreement articles, some articles, sections and all that we do not like, that we feel violate our nation's sovereignty at present and in future, of course. Beginning with Annex 5. Annex 5A. What has been written here is the government must have submitted a plan in form and substance acceptable to MCC and consented to by the government of India. Now here we clearly can understand is this project, whatever it is coming, is not for Nepal, not for only Nepal, let's say like this. But our leaders, our Nepalese leaders, what they have been saying is, it is a pure donation which is for the development and prosperity of our country, Nepal only. So if it is, why we need to go through Indian government, and why we need to make plan which is acceptable, which is consented, which must be consented by the Indian government? Why is it so? If it is coming for our Nepal, for our country only, it must be between MCC, between the US government and Nepal's government only. Here we do not need the interference of our other countries, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China. We do not need any other countries if it is between those two countries only. The very first thing is that it is, it has been said that it is a financial donation only. Now, I already said that it is not a donation. It is coming as an investment. It is coming as an investment. So our leaders must stop lying to the people. Those people who elected them and sent them to the parliament for the sovereignty of our country, for the development of our country, for the defense of our country. Those people are lying to us. They are not loyal to the people. It proves that. So here, this we do not like this one. So it violates our nation's sovereignty, that every Nepali person, every Nepali citizen must protest about. And coming to Article 2 of that agreement, Article 2.5. This is my personal judgment. On the topic of interest, it has been written, the government will pay or transfer to MCC in accordance with the program implementation agreement any interest or other earnings that occur on MCC funding prior to such funding being used for a program purpose. Now here what we can understand is, as I already said, if it is a donation, if it is a charity, why the government here means Nepali government, Nepal's government, Nepalese government, why Nepalese government should pay interest and transfer some earnings to MCC if it is purely financial donation? Why? Why should we pay interest? We can take an example. If a beggar asks you some money, and if you give some money, the beggar will not have to give you the interest, will not have to return the money. But here, as we see, read the clause and all this, that we are to pay interest, we are to repay the things and all, whatever we get the donation, as we say, the financial donation, this, that, to the US, means we are getting loan. We are getting a kind of a loan. So we should understand this thing also, that our foolish leaders, that our Nepali leaders are lying to the people, Nepalese people. This is the situation, my dear friends. Those friends who are watching me from outside our country, Nepal, you should understand this one. This is the situation happening in our country. And that's the reason why we have been protesting for so long, raising our national flags and all, shouting on the streets, this, that. Friends, now I'm going to read section 3.2f. Let's see what it says. The government grants to MCC a perpetual, irrevocable, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid, assignable right and license to practice or have practiced on behalf of MCC any portion or portions of intellectual property as MCC says fit in any medium, now known or hereafter developed for any purpose whatsoever. For any purpose whatsoever. Now, what it is here, what we have been told by our leaders is this is solely only for Nepal and Nepal's development and prosperity only. It is a pure financial help only. They have been saying like this. But here we clearly can understand is US wants to do worldwide business using the resources of our country, Nepal. They will manufacture, they will produce products and do international business. And they want this intellectual property owned by MCC, which will be done inside the territory of Nepal. The intellectual property of MCC earned here must be given to MCC, means the US government, forever, which cannot be changed and which is not taxable. We cannot tax, our Nepalese government cannot tax whatever MCC produces, whatever MCC sells, whatever MCC transports, exports. We are not eligible, we are not rightful to see that thing. So this section describes it like this. And already said, our leaders have told us this is only for Nepal, but here the word worldwide, what is this doing here otherwise? Worldwide. They are going to do something in future, they will do something in our territory. They will produce something in our territory and will sell that thing internationally. That's why they want the internationally freedom about that thing. They will use the intellectual property internationally. That's why they have used this word worldwide right here. So, and they have written, at last I read already, hereafter developed for any purpose whatsoever. What is this? For any purpose whatsoever. If that is the goodwill, if that is the logo, if that is the intellectual property, which is, and they are saying the objective of MCC is to develop the electricity grid in Nepal and transportation road, a kind of a network of road they are saying, but why they want to say like this, that for any purpose whatsoever? For any purpose means what? For any purpose means what? For the purpose of electricity and for the purpose of road maintenance, for the purpose of road development. Only this has been said. On their agreement, MCC also we see like that. But here, they want to use that thing the intellectual property of MCC for any purpose later. So, from this section, we clearly can understand that it is not in favor of nation. It is not clear. It is not clear. We have so many points of doubt we can just raise to them who are trying to impose this one by force on us. Now I'm going to read one more, section 6.8 of Article 6. Now let's see what it says. The government waives any and all claims against MCC or the US government or any current or former officer or employee of MCC or US government for all loss, damage, injury or death. The government agrees that MCC and US government or any current or former officer or employee of MCC or the US government will be immune from the jurisdiction of all courts and tribunals of Nepal for any claim or loss arising out of activities or omission under the compact. Now, this point, this clearly says that our sovereignty, our nation's, Nepal's sovereignty will be compromised by this point. It says, it has been written this and or, using so many ors and all this, that, but what it says, what it is saying in summary is that if anything happens in our country on the course of MCC project, if anything happens, even it has been written here, the death, the loss, damage, this may be the loss of the nature, this may be the loss of our environment, damage of our environment, damage of our territory, our property, whatever it is, even the death, if that happens on the course of execution of MCC, Nepal's government waives the claims. Nepal's government will not be authorized, will not be eligible to ask, to do a kind of investigation, to do a kind of a claim against that loss, even to the death. Means the people may die tomorrow. Thousands of people may die on the course of experiment, on the course of execution of their project. What they will do here on intellectual section, property section, I have already said, they want to do a kind of worldwide business. They will produce this, that, whatever it is. Maybe the weapons also, maybe, who knows, in future. Nobody knows what future brings. So if that happens and the people die, our government cannot do anything about that. Now, they have been already written here, I already said, the MCC and the US government will be immune from the jurisdiction of all courts. Means our courts of law, our nation's law will be null and void. We cannot arrest them. We cannot just bring them to the jurisdiction. We cannot do a kind of legal trials on them. Whatever crimes happen or whatever damage happens, we cannot even claim any damage. We cannot even talk about that thing. So this section clearly violates our sovereignty, so we cannot accept this agreement. This is the reason why we have been protesting. My friends, we have been protesting. We have been shouting on the streets, you see. Often every day we are there outside. Why we are doing that is everybody loves their country. We do ours too. That's our right. That's the nature. That is human being of this century. So, doing that thing, people say, this guy is protesting the development, route of development, disturbing Jala, this, that. The police of our country are arresting us on the order of leaders and this, that. Why they are doing this? This is no good. One more I want to read on MCC is section 7.1 of Article 7. Now what it says the similar thing that section 6.8 of Article 6 said. The parties understand that this compact upon entry into force will prevail over the domestic laws of Nepal. Now, here it says, the law of Nepal, which is, we can say, the constitution of Nepal also, because we make law on the basis of the constitution we have. We cannot make any law thinking this, that, and personal opinion and all. We have main base of the law that we develop for the management, for rules and regulations, law and order, on constitution, on the basis of constitution. So if we do not, if we see this one here, this clause I mean to say, it says, on the course of implementation of MCC projects, whatsoever they bring, they have been already written whatsoever, the word whatsoever, for any purpose. So whatever they do there, on the course of their doing, if our law comes, if our law wants to stop, that is not possible, that won't be possible. So this section 7.1 of Article 7 strongly violates our sovereignty. So my friends, this is why MCC project is not in favor of us. It violates our nation's law, it violates our sovereignty, and it finishes our country at last. So we want this project, this MCC agreement, whatever you call, you have understood already. We want this rejected right away. If this is passed through our parliament, our country will be finished. This is our reason. This is the reason, and with this reason, we have been shouting, we have been crying, we have been fighting, we have been doing many things, in fact, in our country. So, having a good faith in you, if you love your country, please support us. We love our country too. Thank you. Have a nice day.